Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to our Metallica discography. So, for those who, again, I'll have to give this sort of context for any and all newcomers. By the end of this year, I plan on wrapping up our time with Metallica, and the way to do that is probably do the easiest thing possible that is bound to leave some rather conflicting opinions, and that is every single Metallica song ranked from worst to best. Yeah, I think that's about as simple as it could get. So, the task of ranking all 120 songs that Metallica have done is a little bit of an interesting task to undertake, and what's been very, very difficult as we go through album is that there are so many instances where I generally do not know where certain songs are going to place. Although, to my knowledge, I feel like Escape is going to sort of maybe a little bit lower on the list than I sort of suspect. Because, is it true that this was the song that was created because Megaforce needed something that could technically go on the radio? I think that's kind of why this song exists, so it seems a little bit more like they had to do it as opposed to doing it out of any real maybe sense of passion. Well, maybe that might be a mistake, and maybe there's something a bit more to Escape than at first sight. But yeah, I must admit, it's when it comes to the discussions about the best Metallica songs. You know, you have You Ride the Lightnings, you have Master of Puppets, you have Enter Sandman. Escape doesn't really get brought up into it. Or maybe there's something we miss. So, the only way to find that out is to, well, find out for ourselves. So, let's go. Yeah. Oh dear. Um. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of the only thing is that I love the fact that the very top comment for this is best Ride the Lightning song, but we're not ready for this talk yet. I'll tell you why we're not ready for this talk, because it's not true. Because really, best song on Ride the Lightning? No, he's got to be taking the Michael, because yeah, I think if it was kind of obvious by about maybe when we were coming to the end of it, I was just kind of like, yeah, yeah. I think probably the thing I'll tell you what I do quite like is that little solo they did for about 40 seconds. That was all right, but then it just kind of comes in and then it leaves very unceremoniously, and then with "Life's for my own to live my own way." Yeah, here comes some sacrilege for you. It sounds straight up like "Don't you think I can save you?" Yeah, we are not having that conversation. But so yeah, sadly, I do think probably it is a bit of a blemish, all things considered, for Ride the Lightning, and it's sadly going to be actually one of the few instances you'll see where I actually do have to say what places quite a lot low on the list. But I think what exactly were I because okay, so what I should also point out for the benefit of this is that a few weeks ago I actually did make a tier list for ranking every Metallica song from worst to best, and one of the things I did with this is that I already had an idea about what it looks like in my mind, so therefore I get to shuffle some things around at will based on personally what I think is probably good or bad, and you know that this will be subject to change quite a lot in this. And to be honest, ever since I mentioned "Don't You Think I Can Save You," that's now a little bit. In fact, to be honest, sadly, it's kind of the only real thing I remember about the song, and that's probably not the greatest thing to hear in the world. So, actually, for the first time on this list, I'm actually going to place "Escape" in the lowest tier. I think it's the very top end of the lowest tier, but I think it's in the lowest tier. And so that means, in the grand scope of this little list, I think Escape is better than Saint Anger, but I think it's below the Judas Kiss. And by the way, there may be some instances where there'll be quite a lot more things occupying the very bottom of the list, but we'll have to wait and see, because bottom of the list is sort of, I really would not listen to it again. And considering how this song came about in the first place, it wouldn't escape my imagination if, well, they would not play Escape live unless they absolutely had to, because there's better Metallica songs in general, and there's much better things than, well, the rest of Metallica's Ride the Lightning by comparison. And to give you an idea about just how low Escape really is compared to other Metallica songs, is that you would nearly have to sift through nearly 90 whole entries between Escape and the very next song ranked in Metallica's tier list, just from Ride the Lightning. That's just kind of how embarrassing I felt Escape kind of turned out to be. So yes, and so far as I'm concerned, Escape gets the wooden spoon for being the worst song on Ride the Lightning. But then again, there is still one more song we have to talk about, and it'll be coming to you very, very soon. Thank you.